Hello everyone, welcome to 10 times better to learn English. Our topic today is descriptive text. This video is divided into 4 parts. These are the definition of descriptive text, social function, generic structure, and the last one is language features. It will start with definition first. The definition of descriptive text is a factual text used to describe particular living or non-living things. Based on the definition, we can get 4 keywords: factual, particular, living things, and non-living things. Factual means based on facts. Information in descriptive text is based on facts. Jadi sesuai fakta. And then the second one is particular. Particular means special, single, or this and not any other. It means thing that is described in descriptive text is special, specific, and only one. Hanya ada satu karakter, personality, atau behavior yang dimiliki oleh benda yang sedang dijelaskan itu berbeda dengan benda lainnya. And then living thing. Living things means thing that can grow, disappear, and reproduce, such as human, plant, and animal. And then the last one is non-living things. Non-living things means a thing that cannot grow, reproduce, and disappear. For example, table, car, motorcycle, smartphone, computer, and etc. I will give you an illustration of non-living things. One day, your teacher asks you to write a descriptive text. Suppose you are in a library and you see a lot of books there, and you get an idea to make a description about a book. All you have to do is choose one of the books. Then analyze the book specifically. You can analyze based on the cover appearance, content, author, genre, or other characteristics that are different from other books. And then, this is an illustration for living things. You have many idols, and your teacher asks you to make a description of one of your idols. All you have to do is choose an idol that you like. You have to describe your idol specifically until the reader get a picture of your idol. You can describe his or her appearance, achievement, attitude, behavior, or other characteristics that make different from others. That is descriptive text. So, the social function of descriptive text is to describe particular living or non-living things. Next, we talk about generic structure. Generic structure is a structure of the text which consists of stages by which of the text goes through. Di dalam bahasa Indonesia, generic structure adalah sistematika atau alur penyajian dari informasi yang terkandung di dalam suatu teks. Setiap genre memiliki generic structure yang berbeda-beda sesuai dengan fungsi sosial atau tujuan komunikatifnya. So, to make descriptive text, we should start with identification and then it is followed by description. In identification, it consists of introduction of what to describe, or it gives overview about an object. Di bagian ini berisi pengenalan atau gambaran umum dari benda yang akan dideskripsikan. After that, it is followed by description. It consists of details of what is described. For example, the characteristic, the appearance, location, shape, and many more. Bagian ini menjelaskan secara details mengenai benda yang sudah diperkenalkan dan dijelaskan di bagian identification. Commonly, in one paragraph only tells about one characteristic. Move on to the next part, language features. In Indonesia, it is called ciri kebahasaan. The language features of descriptive text includes simple present tense, specific noun, noun phrase, reference items, adjective, comparison, and then the last, parallel structure. But don't worry, I will give you a brief explanation about that. Next, we talk about simple present tense. Why do we use simple present tense in descriptive text? As we know that descriptive text is a factual text. Information provided about an object is based on facts. That is why it uses simple present tense. The example of verbs used in descriptive text are: first, to be or linking verb, like is, am, are. Remember that linking verb only connects the subject with the complement. Jadi, linking verb hanya menghubungkan antara subjek dengan penjelasnya, tidak menunjukkan aksi yang dilakukan oleh si subjek. For example, she is. Selain itu, descriptive text juga menggunakan has atau have sebagai predikatnya. Contoh, she has a beautiful smile. It has many tourism objects. Selain itu, di descriptive text itu juga banyak menggunakan there is dan there are. There is or there are is used to show the existence of things or people. Jadi there is there are itu digunakan untuk menunjukkan keberadaan seseorang atau sesuatu. There are itu diikuti oleh plural countable noun. Contoh, there are many restaurants in Yogyakarta. Di sini ada many restaurants. Ada banyak restaurants dan bisa dihitung. Makanya menggunakan there are, bukan menggunakan there is. Sedangkan there is itu diikuti oleh singular countable noun atau uncountable noun. Jadi bisa diikuti oleh benda tunggal yang bisa dihitung atau benda yang tidak bisa dihitung. Contoh, there is a cafe in my village. Di sini ada singular countable noun, a cafe, hanya ada satu. Selain itu juga ada penanda artikel a, berarti hanya satu saja. Makanya to be-nya itu adalah is. Lanjut, there is little rainfall in the desert. Di sini ada uncountable noun, rainfall. Ada kata benda rainfall nih. Nah, hujan itu kan tidak bisa dihitung. Makanya yang digunakan itu there is, bukan there are. The second one is noun phrase. In the previous meeting, we already talked about this material. Phrase is a group of words that does not have subject and predicate. Jadi, frasa itu adalah kumpulan kata yang tidak memiliki subjek dan predicate. So, noun phrase is a group of words headed by a noun that includes modifier. Jadi, noun phrase itu adalah kumpulan kata yang memiliki kata benda inti, disertai dengan modifier atau penjelas. I will give you some example of noun phrase. The first one, a beautiful girl. The word girl is a noun or it is a head and it is modified by a beautiful. Jadi, di sini ada kata benda intinya, yaitu girl. Dan a beautiful itu merupakan penjelas yang menjelaskan kata benda girl. Next, two books. Word books is a head, and then number 2 modifies books. Jadi kata benda intinya itu adalah books dan penjelasnya itu adalah angka 2. Jadi angka 2 itu menjelaskan kata benda books. The last one, a special gift given by my ex. Ini adalah contoh dari noun phrase. Noun phrase ini memiliki head atau kata benda inti yaitu give. A special itu adalah penjelas atau modifier, atau kalian mengenalnya dengan premodifier. Premodifier itu adalah kata penjelas. Premodifier adalah penjelas yang terletak sebelum kata benda inti. Sedangkan given by my ex itu adalah post modifier, yaitu penjelas yang terletak setelah kata benda inti. kedua penjelas tersebut itu menjelaskan kata give. Reference. Reference is used to refer the previous object. It uses pronoun, of course. For example, Teni is my friend. She lives in Surakarta. Pronoun she refers to the previous object Teni. And then, Yogyakarta is a beautiful city. It has so many tourism objects. Pronoun it refers to the previous object, that is Yogyakarta. Okay, next, adjective. Adjective is a word that describes a noun. It gives more details about noun or modifies noun. Commonly, adjective comes before noun or after to be. The example of adjective that comes before noun is she has a beautiful smile. There is an adjective here, which is beautiful. Beautiful comes before noun, and it modifies noun smile. And the next, I met a homeless person in Solo. Homeless is an adjective. Adjective homeless modifies noun person, and it comes before a noun person. And then adjective that comes after to be. Her dress is beautiful. Adjective beautiful comes after to be is, and it modifies her dress. Move on to the next slide. Comparison degree is a kind of comparison used to compare something with another things or with others using adjective or adverb to compare. There are three types of comparison: positive degree, comparative degree, and superlative degree. Positive degree membandingkan dua objek. Dua objek yang dibandingkan itu memiliki value atau level yang sama atau sejajar, jadi tidak ada perbedaan. For example, he is as handsome as his father. Jenis perbandingan ini menggunakan as sebelum dan sesudah adjective atau adverb. And the next, comparative degree. Tipe ini membandingkan dua objek dan salah satunya memiliki sifat lebih dibanding dengan yang lainnya. For example, he is more handsome than his father. Jenis ini menggunakan er atau more. Di contoh ini adalah more handsome. The last one is superlative degree. Jenis ini tidak hanya membandingkan dua objek saja, tetapi membandingkan dengan banyak. Satu objek itu memiliki sifat paling di antara yang lainnya. Okay, the last one is parallel structure. Parallel structure means using the same patterns of words to show that two or more words or ideas are equal importance. Parallel structure adalah kesesuaian atau kesejajaran struktur dalam suatu kalimat. Jadi ringkasnya, elemen yang ada di suatu kalimat menggunakan pola gramatikal yang sama. It can be connected by coordinate conjunction or correlative conjunction. The example of coordinating conjunction are fun boys. And then the example of parallel structure using coordinate conjunction are: first, the dress is simple and beautiful. Di sini ada coordinate conjunction and. Dan coordinate conjunction and ini menghubungkan dua elemen, yaitu simple dan beautiful. Dan kedua elemen yang dihubungkan itu sudah sama, sudah sejajar, sudah paralel. Kelas katanya sudah sama, yaitu adjective semuanya. And then the second one, her hobbies are swimming and drawing. Di sini ada coordinating conjunction and, dan yang dihubungkan itu adalah swimming dan drawing. Dan kedua elemen itu sudah sama, bentuknya kata semua, dan bentuk gramatikanya itu juga sudah sama, yaitu gerund. And then correlative conjunction. The example of correlative conjunction are not only, but also, both, and, neither, nor, and, either, or. Also illegal. Di sini ada correlative conjunction not only but also. Dan yang dihubungkan itu adalah unfair dan illegal. Bentuknya sudah sama, semuanya itu adalah kata, dan kelas katanya pun juga sudah sejajar, sudah sama, sudah paralel, yaitu adjective. Okay, that's all for descriptive text. It is time for you to practice your understanding of these materials. First, read this text entitled Welcome to Sydney. Then, analyze the generic structure of the text. After that, identify the language features of the text. If you forget, please rewatch the explanation before. Make sure you understand the generic structure and language feature of the descriptive text.